African National Congress is celebrating 110 years together. Our senior reporter, Siphamandla Goge, is there with the latest details. Siphamandla, I do believe that you've got with you the spokesperson of the African National Congress, Pule Mabe. What are we to expect in today's address?
Well, I can tell you that despite being stuck in that security search and sweep, we are finally inside the old Peter Mokaba Stadium. This is where ANC President Cyril Ramaphosa will deliver the statement of the National Executive Committee of the ANC. Here on the stands, people are trickling in. Very few for now. The ANC is expecting 2,000 members and supporters to come here. They say they will not be allowing more than that in order to comply with COVID-19 regulations and protocols. So seems as if things are moving a little bit. We hope that by the time ANC President Cyril Ramaphosa delivers the January 8th statement, of course, 2,000 people will be inside here. But Pule Mabe is the NEC member and the spokesperson of the governing African National Congress. Thank you very much for your time, Baba. What a security nightmare earlier this morning. The security sweep and clearance. I've not seen this before. Why are you having a heightened security situation?
It happens unless it's for the first time that we are attending January 8th.
This is not the first time.
Okay, no, that's what I'm saying, because it happens in all January 8th.
Not like this.
Of course, you'll understand that we are dealing with a new normal. It's effectively for the first time now since the start of the pandemic that we are convening physically our January 8th statement. We've got to make sure that everyone who comes to the stadia, who has been accredited to do so, feels safe, including yourselves in the media. It is just part of that, and to just make sure that you also do not have some chance-taker reporter who have not been properly accredited doing that. So this has been a clear directive from us in DIP, that we want to make sure, because you'd remember that we had glitches with our own accreditation system. So I had to make a call as the head of DIP that when you are being marshaled in, further security checks must be undertaken to make sure that it is the right persons who ultimately end up in the stadium.
Well, I understand that for the media, but for generally speaking, those who are attending here, I was not talking about the media accreditation process, just the security situation around here.
Well, it's necessary. It's necessary, Siphamandla, because you saw what happened in Libuahumu the other day. We did say we're going to we have drawn critical lessons out of what came out of Mama Lillian Ngoyi's memorial, which the Women's League had to request that it gets to be shelved off, because the numbers were oversubscribed. You need to now act in this manner to avoid any possible or potential oversubscription.
Let's talk about the January 8th statement. What does it mean for the ANC? This is where the ANC president will give marching orders to ANC members. It's a historic moment for the ANC, turning 110, but you are limping as we speak.
Well, I'm not sure what you mean when you say we are limping.
You are a party in disarray. You are failing to pay your staff members' salaries. You have registered electoral decline. You are plagued by issues and allegation of corruption. You are a party in disarray. I mean, in that context.
Well, Spa, I can tell you now, because of course, yourselves in the media are trying hard in certain instances to drive some of these narratives. Where there are challenges, the ANC has been the first to admit. We did not have to wait for the media or analysts or wannabe political analysts out there to reflect on some of these things. We do self-introspection ourselves, become self-critical of ourselves, and then say what needs to be done to correct the things that appears to be a menace to society. Address matters that could appear to be, denting the credibility and image of the African National Congress. We have had all the time in our National Executive Committee, we have frank discussions about those things. And when we come out of our National Executive Committee, we'll have taken a position on the things that we need to convey out there. So this January 8th, this 110th anniversary of the African National Congress is a moment of reflection. When the president gives marching orders, delivers the statement of the National Executive Committee to the entirety of our membership, he will actually be saying the meaning of renewal will mean this is what our members are expected to do. You know, in our January 8 statement, you always have that section that deals with the tasks of members.
Same political rhetoric.
No, it's not political rhetoric. It's not political rhetoric. They are actions, visible actions that we have taken as the African National Congress. You see, Siphamandla, we do admit and accept that certain things might not have gone right. But Siphamandla, we call on you and all others from the media to join us in celebrating this 110th birthday and wishing us a happy birthday, so that out of your own well wishes, we could look forward to another 110 years.
Why can't you give South Africans those service delivery, eradicate corruption, eradicate factionalism within the ANC? You are the governing party. South Africans expect you to do better. You have squandered so many opportunities. Do you have the ability and political will to self-correct?
Well, we do have the ability and political will to self-correct. If you look at our document, there was a diagnostic report done previously by Secretary General Comrade Gwede Mandashi at the time, which effectively reflected on some of these issues that you are talking to. It went to that 2015 National General Council, and all of these things were reflected upon. The ANC,
not addressed.
Well, they have been addressed. They are measures that have been taken. You see, Siphamandla, where we are today really is about the celebration. We want to focus ourselves. You see, we came here we were in a jovial mood. We want to celebrate 110 years. We are the biggest, oldest liberation movement. And please, don't take the shine away from us.
What is there to celebrate?
Today is our moment. Today is our 110 years of waging selfless struggle, liberating the people of South Africa, making sure that we could build them houses, allowing you to stay in places where you could not stay, allowing black children to study in places where they could not study before 1994. This the ANC must celebrate, because it was the ANC that steered the course.
Nobody is saying you mustn't celebrate that. You have registered some gains when you are governing as a governing party. There is no doubt about it.
Correct.
You have registered some positive gains, but there is a lot to be done. South Africans expect service delivery. That is the gist. For you to stay in power, to remain in power, you need to change your ways. And for now, you seem to be struggling. But let's talk about the gist of the January 8 statement here. Yes. What will be the theme? What is the gist of the statement?
Well, the president will come. He will outline the theme. And when he speaks to when he outlines the statement, he will effectively outline, he will effectively unveil the theme. So wait, don't be in a hurry. That's why you are here.
Are you concerned about the security situation in the country? Yesterday there was that power failure, of course not load shedding, power tripped at the ranch, the resort. Your president and the deputy had to be whisked away by security. We have seen an increase in the presidential protection services. It appears as if there is something South Africans do not know when it comes to the security of the president and the country.
Well, of course, anything that poses a security threat is a worry. We did have a press conference earlier in the week when we were outlining our state of readiness. And you'd remember that when we outlined our state of readiness, we also spoke about our own concern about violence, acts of violence. We did reflect on that, and we did say that this is what needs to be done to attend to those. We will always support every effort that law enforcement agencies take to clamp on acts of violence, because South Africa is a peaceful country, and you will understand this, that stability, peace are ingredients for economic growth and to encourage investment in the country.
How much did you raise yesterday at the gala dinner, and are you still broke?
Well, I don't think that for now it's about being broke and how much
broke.
It's about being broke and how much we raised. Look, the income that the ANC makes, and the TG has addressed this, the income that the ANC makes is lower than it's far exceeded by its own liabilities. This is the reality that we sit with. So we are doing everything else we can to find means, innovative means and ways through which we can address the situation.
When is the NGC?
Well, I'm sure that the National Executive Committee, after having reflected, looking at the East lockdowns, the fact that there are no longer curfews, and the numbers that are able to gather, and also assessing the performance of these different variants as it relates to your fatality rates, then we will be able to then pronounce ourselves on that. But that should really be left to the NEC.
You are the spokesperson of the ANC. We haven't heard you condemning people who are talking about succession. Limpopo province, the provincial chairperson has thrown his weight behind the ANC President Cyril Ramaphosa for a second term. Surely, is it not too early? Are they not jumping the gun? The NEC has not said that the nomination process is open. Why are you quiet about this?
Well, individual leaders and provinces are really reflecting on their own views. They are not necessarily making nominations at this stage. The ANC is a democratic organization, allows multiplicity of views. We do not take away the rights of our structures to express themselves or advocate their own intentions. But of course, formal nominations processes, when they start, only then can we begin really entertaining what are the views of these different organizational structures. But we are not going to really want to start entering a space when people are really just expressing what are their own views. Remember, some of the views are expressed in the interest of what could really drive the unity and stability of the African National Congress.
So it's a free-for-all for now?
No, it's not necessarily a free-for-all because, Siphamandla, we must be careful not to have the media being the one mobilizing chaos in the African National Congress. I don't think that that is what we are trying to do here.
No, I'm asking you a question about the process leading up to the succession debate.
But that is what I'm clarifying, that when that process begins, structures of the ANC will formally begin expressing themselves in that way.
Will you have 2,000 people here? Are you sure about that?
Well, we are. I mean, Comrade Nomvola and the team have been working very hard to make sure that those that come to the stadium are those that are duly accredited. I can tell you now, there was a team led by Comrade Nomvola, by the provincial secretary of the ANC in Limpopo, members of the provincial executive committee in the province. And that team had ensured that they build a proper accreditation system for those that are supposed to be inside. They gave us a detailed report in the NEC on how they are going to be accrediting people who are expected to be inside. And we are confident with their report that things are going to go in the manner that they've already outlined to us in the meeting.
What time is eNCA interview with ANC President Cyril Ramaphosa today?
This can be an interview question because this is not really in the interest of your viewers. You see,
it is.
eNCA can't do this to us. We have promised you that you are going to have your share. So you will.
You've been non-committal.
Well, we have been committal. You will get your share. There is a schedule, and on that schedule, eNCA is somewhere there on the top between others. But you will have your time.
Thank you very much for your time. That is Pule Mabe, the spokesperson of the ANC, saying, well, they are confident that they will comply to COVID-19 regulations and they will limit the number of people who will attend the January 8 celebration and the January 8 statement to be delivered by the party president on behalf of the National Executive Committee of the governing ANC.
Siphamandla Goge, I trust you to get a non-committal commitment when it comes to the spokesperson of the African National Congress, Pule Mabe. They're just speaking, I mean, really, being a spokesperson there on touching points on different issues that obviously we can look forward to ahead of that January 8 statement. As you were speaking to the spokesperson, those Siphamandla, just talk to us a little bit about the scene. Are people beginning to arrive? Is the stadium beginning to fill up? What can you see, as well as your cameraman, as you just pan across the stadium in view of what's going on there as we anticipated that address by the President a little bit later in the morning?
Well, Joko Mane, my hard-working colleague here, will show you. For now, it appears as if the security detail and the law enforcement and the marshals of the ANC and the media contingent are the ones who are basically inside the stadium. Very few people are up there in the stands, and I can tell you that I've seen one of the NEC members here, the organizers, Nomvula Mokonyane, is also here, trying to ensure that everything is done according to the book, things are in order. The ANC wouldn't want to take chances with this one. They would want to be seen to be leading by example. So it's going to be a challenge for them to ensure that they stick to the regulations. Remember, this is a party that has got a number, many supporters and many members, but because of COVID-19, I can tell you that not so much of what would ordinarily be a January 8 statement. You won't have too many people coming in here. The capacity of this stadium is huge, but they can only accommodate 2,000 people. So for now, things are moving, but very slowly. It's just about security, logistics for now, to ensure that when the program gets underway this afternoon, by the way, and then people would have taken their seats and people would have been screened. I must say that I've observed that health authorities and officials are out in full force to ensure that everyone who comes in here is properly screened, properly vetted. The security detail is doing its job. So we expect that the official program will get underway around 11:30, where the ANC National Chairperson, where the Mantashe will basically be outlining. I'm not sure if we will be able to unmount our camera. Pule Mabe, you'll have to allow us to just walk in here. We need to see who is in there. Jokomane, can we please unmount this and then try to get a sense of the people who are here for now? But okay, for security reasons, we are told that we can't go in there. So this is the situation. Behind me is a marquee. I see some religious leaders have already started making their way in here. They are taking their seats. It's relatively quiet for now. We expect that the numbers will pick up later. Of course, the official program starts at 11:30. The ANC president is expected to speak at 1 o'clock according to the draft program or the final program of the ANC. So by 2 o'clock, the official closing of the program should have been done. We don't expect to spend too much time here, but you know, with the ANC at times things can get delayed. But for now, this is just the situation here around this stadium, as Joe Komane will pan and show you that the stage has been set for ANC leadership and NEC members, also ANC President Cyril Ramaphosa, to deliver this January statement. I see Zizi Godwa there, one of the NEC members, who's also the Deputy Minister responsible for state security. He's been on the ground working. He's the one, by the way, who went to ANC President Cyril Ramaphosa and whispered into his ear at the Lillian Ngoyi Memorial Lecture, where he told the ANC President, we understand that, well, he had to leave that gathering because of the security concern. I see the Minister of International Relations here, Dr. Naledi Pandor, arriving as well. Of course, he's a senior NEC member here, and we will try and get a word from her. She's busy on the phone for now. You know, it will be interesting to hear fraternal organization and guests of the ANC that have been invited, but also the January 8 statement usually touches on issues of international relations, peace, stability. Remember, there are organizations that were showing solidarity to the ANC from across the world, and we do know that the ANC has a policy of supporting the Palestinians when it comes to that conflict that is going on between the Palestinians and the Israelis. They also support the people of the Sahara. So I can pretty much tell you that all of those points will form part of the January 8 statement, whereby the ANC NEC will reiterate its support and commitment for the oppressed across the world. So Dr. Naledi Pandor is an NEC member of the ANC. NEC members are starting to trickle in here to ensure that they are on time to hear that speech by ANC President Cyril Ramaphosa. So for now, that is the current situation here at the stadium, the old Peter Mokaba Stadium.